Hi everyone! Here's a video tutorial to show you how to add a text and media slider or slideshow to your website using the website.com site builder. A text and media slideshow is a great way to improve user engagement by showcasing multiple visuals and titles in a single space. And the text and media slider can be a great option for a dynamic hero section or a show-stopping section further down your webpage. I'll show you how to add one of these sections and how to customize the slide height, content width, and content position, which is how it differs from our classic gallery slider. If you want to see the video tutorial for our classic gallery slider, you can see the link to that in our video description. So here's how to easily add a text and media slider to your website. So I'm already logged into my website builder, and now let's say I want to add a text and media slider gallery as the welcome section. This is also called the hero section, so it's a section at the very top of the home page. So we'll click add section right under the header section right here, and then we're going to choose slider, and you'll see the different types of sliders here. So at the top are the classic gallery sliders, and while you can add text to these sliders, they'll appear as a caption over the images, and you'll have less control over the style and positioning for the text. So these options here would be great for a gallery of images if you want to showcase a portfolio. For a hero section, I would suggest using a text and media slider. Now this layout right here is great because it has no padding on the top or the bottom, which means the image extends all the way to the edges of the section, which gives a very grand feel. So I'll click add section. You'll notice that for this layout, the slideshow itself has the overarching title and description toggled off, which is why the only text that appears on this slideshow will be the titles, descriptions, or buttons for each slide. And I'll show you more in depth what I mean later on in this video. So we've added it here, and now let's start customizing the gallery. So to do that, just click on it, and you'll see the media for the very first slide. You're working on slide number 1 of 6. You can click upload and change or select from files. So we'll choose select from files. And if you want to upload your own images from your computer, you can click upload file right here. For this video, I'm going to work with a stock image. So we'll click on stock images here. For example, I'll choose this image. And now we've changed that image for the first slide. Now you can adjust the image to fill or fit within the gallery display. For example, this is fit and this is fill. You can also play around with the position of the image depending on how it's scaled. And you can also choose to add a link. You'll see that it says link to. So when visitors click on this image slide, it will lead them somewhere. So let's look at these options. You could have it linked to a page. So this is perfect if you have designated pages with different services you offer. Then when visitors click on this particular slide, it will take them to that page. You could also have it linked to a file, to your store, to a pop-up, an external web address, or a lightbox. And this one is a great option. So let's say if we chose this option, it means that when the visitors click on the image, it will open up in a box where the rest of the website is dimmed and the image is enlarged and in focus. So because I'm using this text and media slider as the hero section, I don't necessarily want it to open up in a light box. I'll click on page, and I'll have it go to one of my pages. For example, I'll have it go to inquiries, and then I'll click save. So now as well, you might want to add some alt text. Alt text is so important for your SEO to make your website more accessible to users. So that means that if the image does not load for somebody, it will show the alt text, so you want to describe the image exactly as it would appear. So you'll see that also for these slides, you can add a title, a subtitle, a description, and some buttons. These are unique to each slide. So I'll just edit these. You can click right on the field to edit them, or click on it and look to the left and edit it in here, or you can toggle them off. For example, if you want to toggle off the description, just click on that. There are also buttons that are call to action. I'll toggle off the secondary button, but I do want to have this button, and I'll have it go to the same place that this slide will go to. Remember, I added that link earlier. I'll have it go to inquiries. So to do that, under the button label, you can edit that. So I've changed the button label, and then under that, I'll click here, choose page, and then I'll have it go to inquiries and click save. So I've previously made this inquiries page. Make sure that you link it to a page that you've created for your website. So we've gone ahead and worked on the first slide. Now to edit the next slide, you can click on back, and you'll notice the list of the different slides that are here. There are 6 items right now. To work on the next slide, you can just click right here. And again, you can do exactly what I did, upload or add a new image from files, and then play around with the scaling and the image position and the title, subtitle, description, and call to action buttons. We'll click back again. You'll notice that beside each slide, there's a pencil icon that says edit, and you can use that to move the position of your slide. And you can also delete or clone slides. So on this level, I'll click on edit and I'll just delete this one. If you want to add a new slide, just click add item. And now you can customize it. So if we go back, you'll see we've created that new slide. Now let's get to customizing the display settings for the gallery. So here you'll see under slider, it says change colors and layout. We'll click on that, and you'll see all these different settings. You can change the colors for your slide. You can also change the entire section layout, but we're going to leave ours as is. And now here you can see where you can change the text alignment. So I'll keep it aligned to the left. You can make this slide full width, or you can also make it not full width. I'm going to keep it full width because that's the style that I like for this top section. And you can choose to add top and bottom padding. So remember what I said about this slide has no top and bottom padding? If we increase that and add padding, you'll notice that when you click on this area, you have the option to add a title, a subtitle, or a description. And this is the overarching text for this entire slider. So when the slider moves, this text will not move. However, I'm happy with keeping all of this toggled off, so I'll toggle them all off. And we'll go back to change colors and layout, and I'll remove that top and bottom padding. You'll notice that you can also add an overlay to your slides, and you can adjust that opacity. This is a great way to have the images, but also have the text be more visible. I'll set that to 40%. So now let's work on the slide layout. So right now we have this content, which is the title, subtitle, description, and call to action buttons. We have that in the center here. You can change that positioning so that it's at the top or at the bottom. Let's try having it at the bottom. And the content width is currently set to full. You might want to change that, for example, if we want to make it more narrow. It might be fun to do that and then play around with the content positioning. For example, right here. So this is a great option if your slider image showcases a feature more on the right or left side of the image, and it's a great way to balance text and image. Keep in mind that these settings apply to all the slides on your slideshow. So now we'll play around with the slide height. So I want to see this with another slide on my gallery. So first I'll go back. Here's this image. We'll go back to change colors and layout. So I want to show you using the image that I added earlier. Let's play around with the slide height. So I like it at extra large, especially because I'm using this slideshow as my hero section. And keep in mind that you'll want to see how this applies to the rest of the slides on your slider. For consistency, these styling options will be applied to all of them. So let's go to the preview and see what it looks like so far. Now let's go back to the editor and then click Change Colors and Layout again. And let's go ahead and set the slideshow settings. So if you toggle on autoplay, once visitors land on the page with the slider, the images will automatically move through the slideshow without visitors needing to click any navigation arrows. And you can also choose to have the images loop, or if you have that off, you can make it apparent that the last image in the slideshow has been reached. So if you choose to have the images loop, when it reaches the last slide, whether visitors click the navigation arrow to move forward or if the slider is on autoplay, it will smoothly go back to the first slide without breaking up the flow of the slider. So you can choose to show the navigation arrows, so visitors can scroll through the slideshow by clicking on the arrows, and you can choose the style of the arrows or not. So that's under navigation. You could choose this style or have it on or below. Because I don't have any padding, if I add it below, it will add some padding below the slideshow. So I actually want to have it look cleaner, and I'll turn the navigation off. So right here, you'll see a bit of an indicator of which slide is showing. I'll keep the slide pagination on, and you can choose different styles. These are dynamic dots. You can have a fraction, so this is 1 out of 6 slides. A progress bar. We won't see that because the padding is off. Or line and dots, which is on the slider. I'll keep it set to dynamic dots. And note that some of these pagination types, like the dots, also gives visitors a way to interact with the slider by choosing to directly jump to a specific slide simply by clicking on it. So this slideshow can add some excitement and originality to your website design. And especially for a top section, the text and media slider can be a great option, or a show-stopping portfolio or case study section further down your web page. So let's publish this. And let's go ahead and visit the live site. So here is the slider. You can see how it will look on the published website. As you can see, it's very easy to add a text and media slider to showcase images and text on your website in a dynamic way. We hope this video was helpful, and thanks for watching.